So one thing that has really taken the internet and cold plunge world by storm lately are these cold plunge challenges. I don't exactly know who was the first person ever to do a cold plunge challenge, but I will sort of say that's sort of my origin story into cold plunging and ice baths. But nonetheless, so we have these cold plunge challenges, and some examples of this are this guy True Grit, Cold Plunge Cam, who I like a lot, and then this other guy Jordan Ferrone. I feel like Jordan Ferrone's like the number one guy. You know, his streak is like over a year. So these guys like Jordan Ferrone, for example, he's done one cold plunge every day for over a year, which to me is just absolutely wild. And kudos to him. Definitely not for me. So I guess why, there's so many reasons why people like them, why I like them. For one, they just evoke this warm feeling, at least for me. Every day I open social media as I do, and then I just see Jordan Ferrone come on. He's like, "Hey guys," like he does his whole thing, like, "Hey guys, day 172 of taking an ice bath." So it's the same thing every day. He cracks the ice. He does like a food review in the ice bath, and then he says, "See you tomorrow, guys." So it's just this warm feeling. It's comforting. It's like these cold plunge challenge people. It's like comfort food for social media. So that's sort of the way that I would describe them. Now, there's definitely a lot of reasons why people actually do them, and the funny thing is that everybody sort of pretends like they're doing these things in the name of health, but let's be real here. I mean, there's definitely social media clout. I mean, anytime you do a challenge like this, you're just going to watch the numbers go up. I mean, the guy True Grit, for example, who's also pretty cool, he literally even says in his thing, like, "I'm doing a cold plunge every day," or "I'm deleting this account unless I hit like 1 million subscribers." So it's cool. They give incentive to follow them, and they really do. Their accounts just grow like crazy. So to me, in my opinion, I believe that the number one reason why people do these cold plunge challenges is for social media clout. I will definitely also say, as someone that films himself doing plenty of cold plunging, it is just so tempting to film yourself taking a cold plunge because of just, how much it just sucks, and you just feel like, well, if I'm doing this thing, like, other people need to see it. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the filming your stuff and the social media clout. I mean, I would be interested, and if there is someone out there who is doing a cold plunge challenge, aka jumping in freezing cold water every day for 30 days or a year, who's not filming themselves doing it or talking about it on social media, let me know. I want to interview that person because I just can't imagine there's anyone out there like that. But if there is, hit me up. So obviously I also have experience with cold plunge challenges. As I said before, that was sort of my origin story into this world, this podcast that I've started, everything that I've started. My whole business is based off of cold plunging, and it all started with my plunge a day for January that I did last year, where for every day for the month of January I filmed it, I made a little video about it, and that was very cool. Now that I've been into cold plunging for a couple years now, I definitely have something to say about these cold plunge challenges. And spoiler alert, it's not great for the cold plunge cams and the Jordan Ferrones out there. But yeah, so my now recent negativity about cold plunging kind of just came when I was just happened to be scrolling Twitter, and I saw this tweet by account Carnivorous Aurelius. Basically, what he says is, cold plunging daily is one of the dumbest things you can do. Sure, you could do it every now and then, but it is certainly not the panacea it's made out to be. Cold plunging is one of the most stressful things you can do to yourself. Your body doesn't know you're in a nice LA studio cold plunging. It thinks you're on the Titanic sinking. In nature, falling in water meant we were going to die. As a result, it massively spikes adrenaline and all of your stress hormones. right when you get out of the cold plunge, it feels amazing, just like how surviving a plane crash would. You thought you were going to die, and you didn't. This is coming at a massive cost. Injecting animals with acute doses of stress hormones mimics aging. You're basically aging yourself faster for a mood boost. And the tweet goes on and on. But yeah, so this tweet definitely had an impact on me and what I think of cold plunging. And it was just someone that, you know, I respect in this alternative health world, kind of like trashing cold plunging. I definitely come to think that cold plunging, doing everything every day, I've said this before, but there is nothing in the world outside of sleeping and breathing that you should do every day. That includes eating. You should not do anything every day. Like, to me, it just can't be healthy to cold plunge every day. And these cold plunge challenges are obviously encouraging people to do that. The people that are doing it themselves are, you know, they're doing it. And what I guess I just come to not like about it anymore is that they're doing these daily cold plunge challenges under the disguise of health, but really it's not healthy what you're doing. Jumping into cold water every single day without fail, that's not healthy. Social media is not healthy. So, like, once again, just call it what it is. I mean, you're doing this for clout. It's not because you care about, it's not because you can't possibly think this is good for you. You know, like I said, I mean, I'm in there with you guys. Like I did cold plunge challenges, and actually as I saw this tweet, I was in the middle of my January plunge day for January cold plunge challenge myself. I saw the tweet. The other thing that happened with me is that my house unexpectedly burnt down. Shout out my neighbor, who burnt my house down. And that forced me to have to stop doing my cold plunge challenge. But then I saw the tweet and I was like, yeah, like I just started to think like, I think he's right. You know, it's like we're all doing this because we found cold plunging. We love cold plunging for the name of health. So why are we going to do something that's going to actually hurt your health? So to me, cold plunge challenges are fun. They inspire discipline, they raise awareness, they boost your social media clout. But let's call a spade here. Cold plunge challenges are not about your health. Jumping into the next segment, this is biohacking without the degree. And today I am talking about plastic in clothes. So I recently saw this picture. For those listening at home, it's an image in a clothing store, probably a mall or something like that. And it's basically this advertisement for some clothing company, and it shows a plastic soda bottle. And the image shows the process of that plastic soda bottle basically going from being someone's trash all the way into polyester, which is then used to make the clothes that we put on our bodies and that this company sells in their store. And the funny thing about this is that this is an advertisement. Like, this company is very proud of this. I guess it's like sustainability type of stuff. Like, it's very pro environment. But to me, I look at this and I'm like, wait a second. You want me to wear plastic and be happy about it? First thing I thought is, man, this is some serious World Economic Forum type stuff. You will eat the bugs, you will wear the plastic, and you will be happy about it because we are going to tell you that it is good for the environment. So this whole thing is something that I've been pretty conscious about lately. I've been really trying to make sure that I wear strictly cotton, wool. There's some other good fabrics out there like alpaca, for example, but in my opinion, cotton is just the easiest. And lately, I've just been trying to make sure that all of my clothes are 100% cotton, or at least anything that's going to be directly touching my body, like my shirts and my pants. With that being said, I will be the first one to admit that I was completely sold on companies like Lululemon, Vuori. There's so many others. Their stuff is great. It's light, it's moisture wicking, it looks cool, it's fast. But when you look into it, all these companies, it's all polyester. Their clothes are literally garbage. They're nice, but they're garbage. And I'll tell you what, it is so hard to find clothes that don't have polyester in them. And trust me, I don't mean to pick on brands like Lululemon and Vuori, because quite literally every brand is putting polyester in their clothing, and it's really just awful. Quite frankly, polyester has some great benefits. Like, it's definitely better at being non-wrinkle, it's durable, it's moisture wicking, but those moisture wicking properties are actually what makes it bad. See, cotton will actually absorb moisture. That's why when cotton gets wet, it gets really heavy and wet. And this may seem like a disadvantage, but in fact, when you compare it to polyester, on the other hand, polyester doesn't absorb moisture well, which can actually trap the moisture in the skin and cause the skin to become irritated because it's literally plastic. So, you'll see me wear some Vuori stuff from time to time. Their polyester definitely makes for good bathing suits and like good puffer jackets, but I'm really in 2024 looking to be more mindful of the fabrics that are going to be touching my skin. Also, the skin is highly absorbent, which I do believe tiny particles of polyester can actually be absorbed into your skin and end up in your bloodstream. In my anecdotal experience, I definitely feel a life quality upgrade since switching to mostly cotton. It's not like a crazy life upgrade like cold plunging, for example, would be, but it's there. And I've been liking it so far. This shirt, for example, is American Giant. This sweatshirt is American Giant. Both of these 100% cotton. And yeah, they feel great. I like the way they wear in. They're a little annoying. They get heavy when they get wet, but like I said, there's definitely benefits to that. So that would be my recommendation as for clothing brands. I know this company, American Giant, for example, is quite expensive, but to me, it's worth it. And now, this part could get a little woo-woo, but I do seem to think that I have a better energy, a better aura about me when I'm wearing 100% cotton. I mean, even just mentally knowing that I'm not wearing a garbage polyester fabric and I'm wearing natural fibers. Maybe it's a placebo, but to me, I think it's working. I feel better, my energy's better, my aura's better. So that's just me, just anecdotal, like I said. And it's definitely seeming like the more I wear cotton, the more I want to wear cotton. When I wake up in the morning and go to grab my clothes for the day, I just find myself more and more reaching for the cotton stuff and less the fake Lululemon stuff. One more thing to note, this is also extremely important for your bedding because of how much time we spend in our bed and how much that bedding touches our skin. So it is extremely important to sleep with natural fibers in your sheets and your blankets and your pillows and everything. There's a reason why they refer to cotton as the fabric of our lives, and I am certainly going to continue to wear more cotton and save the garbage polyester for special occasions. So this is the real Brad Lea.
I don't believe that if I were shredded, my life would be much better at all. What would be better other than I'd look better to some people? I'm not round now, and I'm happy. I'm enjoying life. I had Five Guys the other day. I worked out, sure, but I also had a little Five Guy. And by the way, on the way home from Five Guys, you know what I did? I stopped at Pink Box and got a dozen donuts to bring home to the fam bam. 10 arrived. Because, dude, there were maple bars. Fresh out the grease. Maple bars fresh out the grease. Woo! Now, there's a dude walking around 8% going, gotta have this one. No, I ain't doing it. That's why I got these. Yeah? Well, what if we both died tonight? Who won? I did. I had a maple bar. Before I died, you freaking had discipline and lost.
So, where to start? Well, first of all, both of us are going to die. It's not a matter of if we die. It's a matter of when we die. And yeah, I mean, if the 5 seconds of pleasure you get from shoving those donuts down your face is worth it, feel free. Drug addicts use this exact same logic as they so easily give into their cravings. So essentially, you're like a drug addict for donuts. Like, it's not good for you. It brings you temporary mouth satisfaction, but I guess you deem that it's worth it because of that small satisfaction that it gives you, even though it will hurt you in the long run. I like to think of the body like a car. It's literally your life vehicle. You give it good nutrients, treat it well, take it to the gym, you'll have a nice vehicle, aka a body, to take you through life. If you sit around eating donuts, neglecting workouts, making excuses for the foods you put in your body because of special occasions, you're going to have a pretty crappy life vehicle. But you know what? That's totally fine because not everybody drives the same vehicles, both metaphorically and physically. Everybody values different things. And Brad, I guarantee you this. I guarantee you that you have more money than me, and I can guarantee you that you physically drive a nicer real car than me. But I promise you this. I promise you that the vehicle that we both go through life with, aka our bodies, mine will always be better than yours. Because money can buy all the cars and all the nice things and all the donuts in the world, but money cannot buy you a body like mine. This body of mine takes discipline, which I guess you're not really into. Welcome. This is the first ever episode of the Cold Plunge Podcast. I am so excited about it. I have so much to say, so many video ideas, so many things I want to do. I want to interview people. I want to do solo episodes just like this. And, I don't have a full plan for the show, but one thing that I'm very excited about is that I want this to be a very community-driven show. I want people to be able to ask questions and have special guest appearances and whatever. So I have recently created a Cold Plunge community Facebook group, which to me, this is like going to be the official, forum for the show. So like if you have any questions or suggestions or corrections for me, that's the place that it's going to be. It's going to be in the Cold Plunge community Facebook group. So I'll put the link for that in the show notes. So please come join, come kick it with me in that group. As per all podcasts these days, the podcast should be on all platforms. So whatever is your platform of choice, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I can't wait to see how this goes. Fun fact: this is not the first podcast that I've ever started. It's the second. The first one not successful. I'm hoping that this one turns out differently for me, but that will remain to be seen. Okay, and the final segment of the show, this is the cold take. So my cold take for the week, I'll explain this once for the first show. Cold take, just to play on the words, hot take. I want all the segments to have like cold plunge related things associated with them. So this is the cold take. My first cold take of the Cold Plunge Podcast is ice baths are easier than cold showers. That's the take. I've said this before. I really think that cold showers are just one of the suckiest things in the world. You get in there, it's like you're just getting hit with 1,000 cold pellets, and it just sucks. It sucks every single second that you're in a cold shower. Whereas ice baths, on the other hand, they suck at first, but once you get past that first minute, it's really not that bad, especially if the water is still and calm. You build up that thermal layer around you and your body gets numb. It's really not bad. So I think that 10 out of 10 times, if I had to choose between a ice bath or a cold shower, I'm picking the ice bath. Boom. Done.